Hey, buddy.
Hey, Kelley.
How you doing today?
Oh, I'm in a good mood.
Good.
I always stop at that gas station and get a different sort of treat, snack, and I got a Baby Ruth for myself. And in the past, I've gotten snacks that I could, eat while we're talking, like York peppermint patties and who knows what else. But I got a Baby Ruth this time, and within one bite, it's pretty obvious that was not a good podcasting snack.
Might I recommend next time you go to that gas station?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen, but right at the checkout counter, they sell these fresh baked cookies. They're really good.
Yeah, I did see those. Yeah,
they're real good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How would you describe them? Because they look quite sugary to me.
Well, they're a fucking cookie. I mean, there's gonna be sugar.
I like a hearty cookie.
It's very chewy.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's chocolate chips and caramel chips in there.
Okay.
And real thin, real chewy.
I got the thin, and they look like really molasses based, but maybe not.
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not a cookie expert. Not a cookieologist.
Cookspur. Pulling up my show notes. I got so many notes, dude. When we came into the last podcast, or maybe it was the one before that, I remember I had all these complaints and gripes lined up.
Yeah.
And then we just chitted and chatted.
Yeah.
Never even got around to them. But there was a lot that happened between, today and when we recorded the podcast on Saturday. My apologies to everyone that I didn't put it on Facebook until, I think, Monday, but maybe Tuesday.
How are we ever going to grow our business with you acting like... This isn't some Mickey Mouse operation.
Mickey Mouse. That is the first time I said, hey, like and subscribe, and you don't have to wait on me to post these on Facebook. Which I've never done on here, said like and subscribe. I don't think. Something funny that came out of that, though, when I posted it, I always like to put a minimum 3 photos that are related to the podcast.
For sure.
And I put a border collie. I put the beginning of the dirt regrading project. Yeah. And then just randomly, I don't think we even talked about this, I put a photo of the fried catfish that we had.
I was wondering about that. I mean...
Yeah. Well, guess what? This is the only photo that anyone commented on. Jamie, of Corey and Jamie, was like, is that your salad or Ashley's salad with all the olives on top? And I commented something like, nah, it's definitely Ashley. I like a good olive now and then, but she says they're literally her favorite part of the salad, and I think that's disgusting.
I agree. I've started eating a lot of salads. I probably eat 3 or 4 a week now. Mm-hmm. And I get them pre-prepared, from H-E-B. I usually get this chicken Cobb salad or something. Mm-hmm. And it comes with a little bunch of olives. And I always throw those out. Because they're disgusting.
They're like the sardines of the vegetable world.
I think I like sardines more than I would like an olive. And I've never had a sardine.
Jamie's response to me saying that was I knew I loved her. And it was 3 green hearts and maybe 3 green olives. But that's not where the story ends. I then turned around and relayed all this to Ash.
Yeah.
And in a befuddlingly quick turnaround, she said, I think exactly, it's a lifestyle.
What?
And I was like, come again? And she just doubled down, it's a lifestyle. I was like, what are you talking about? Eating olives, liking olives? And she reminded me that she used to eat olives, snack packs of olives. That I would go and buy those for her. And I was like, but a lifestyle? And she was adamant. So I'm like, alright, I'll put that on your tombstone, I guess.
Yeah, I've never heard of olives being a lifestyle. I mean, maybe except one of those travel cooking shows I saw where someone went to an olive orchard where they made fresh olive oil and the people were really into their fucking olives their entire life. But just a casual person, is there merch? Do they have meetings? Is there a newsletter? Like, is it just one of those like secret things? Is this like what's it called? The Masons, like a secret society kind of thing?
That was the implication. I have no doubt that if I relayed these things we're saying now to Jamie, that she would be like, absolutely.
I wonder if they have like a special hand signal they give each other when they pass each other by. Like motorcyclists. Did you know motorcyclists, whenever they pass, like two just random motorcyclists pass each other, they have a special hand signal they do.
Like a low?
Something. I don't know exactly what they do with their hand, but it's low.
Yeah, I've seen it.
But yeah, I remember, yeah. That was silly.
Can I talk about one more Nathan Ashley-centric thing before we jump into more group-centric?
Yeah.
So, last time I was here, I had a little bit of a cough because we had just started our regrading project.
Huffing that dirt.
Moving that dirt. And so our neighbors had put a better slope on the side of their house so that water would run away from their house, but because we did not, it was just running to our house. So we needed to fix that because it was Pflugerville is notorious for foundation issues.
Yeah. And
before we bought the house, there were foundation problems that were fixed, and we have a lifetime warranty, or like once a year we have the owner of this engineering company come out and do all this complicated measuring, and for the most part everything's been great, like even better than when they first fix it, because they fix it expecting it to settle some.
Yeah.
But there was an issue with the side of the house of you're clearly pooling water here, so the house is going to sink in that direction, and you might be seeing a little bit of that with your like garage door, for instance. Yeah, we are. Like not the garage door to the outside, but like between the house and the garage. Mm-hmm. And so like, what do we do about that? Well, you need to get the water to go away from your house. So, like a proper, let's outsource this to a third party.
Yeah.
$6,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're like, Ashley and I, we like to roll up our sleeves. And if it's like literally just moving dirt around, yeah, sign us up for that. Our lawn is, our front yard, not our backyard, is xeriscaped.
Yeah.
So it's rocks, which are famously heavy when accumulated in great quantities.
Yes.
So step one was move all the rocks away from the house, so that, you can put the rocks on top of the rocks, that's not a problem. But you had to get them all away from the house because that's where new dirt's going to go.
Right.
And Ash wore a mask. I did not. Got a little bit of dirt in the back of the throat. But not too bad. We did that like Friday night. We podcasted Saturday morning. We had a blast Saturday afternoon, which we'll get into. And we were supposed to finish the project Saturday afternoon, but rained, whatever. Kind of didn't feel like it either. You're like, all right, Sunday. And Sunday, we finished the project. If you Google how much those 3 cubic yards of dirt weigh, you'll get an answer back like 6,300 pounds.
Wow.
We moved that much dirt. Yeah. It's a lot. It's multiple tons, right? Isn't it like 3 tons?
Yeah. That seems like a lot.
It was.
I feel like a cubic yard, like, isn't that big.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
So, is it that much? I don't know, but it was a lot. And we both got our workouts in and knocked it out on Sunday. Again, I didn't wear a mask. And even up to this morning, like that night, Sunday night, it started where I've just been coughing all through the night because when I lay down, for whatever reason, like I just can't sleep without coughing myself awake. You got 1,500 to 3,000 pounds, which is a lot less than what I said, but it's still quite a lot.
No, that's just for one.
Oh, well, there you go.
So yeah, 6,500's in that realm.
Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
It's more intense than the rocks. It's like you just get a lot of dirt together and it weighs a lot.
I guess it's kind of like water. Like,
yeah.
I think a cubic yard of water weighs.
1 cubic yard of water, y'all.
I mean, these are the questions everybody needs I've been asking. 1,685 pounds.
About the same as the dirt. Except that's way more exact because water is water and dirt.
And there's a lot of kinds of dirt.
Yeah, sometimes it's just dirt. Ours was fill dirt, so it was like dirt, clay, and rocks, which is exactly what we needed. But that was the big project. Oh, but every night since then. Sometimes during the day I'm coughing, but definitely at night I have to take these like intense, the ones that I took when I had COVID, lozenges. They just like numb my throat. And I'm almost over it, but not quite.
And we're sure you don't have COVID. Like, did you ever take a test?
I did take a test, yeah.
Okay.
One of those days I had, the reason I took the COVID test when I did have COVID is because I had a terrible headache. Mm-hmm. And one of the days I did have like pain behind my eyes, so I took a test then and no COVID.
Good. I'd be pretty mad if you came over just all smiles. Yeah, I got a little bit of COVID.
No, just inhaled a bunch of dirt.
Classic.
So pretty proud of that. I mean, the moving of all that dirt was one thing, and then putting the rocks back, and you can tell that the rocks sloped away from the house, and now we're looking forward to the next big rain to see how the water pools now, because it should pool evenly between our houses, more or less. Yeah.
Now you gotta dig a trench between the houses to then run all that water out to somewhere else.
Yeah, we'll see. We also had enough dirt left over to put a bunch in the flower bed outside our bedroom window, and one of our things we're doing this weekend, there's a I'll mention it later. I'll mention it in the next episode. But there's a really great nursery that's between like here and downtown Pflugerville, such as it is, and we're gonna get a couple rosemary bushes for sure, and then maybe some other, not rose bushes, but some other bushes to put outside our window between the two rosemaries. And then Ash wants to do a bunch of flower stuff, and I was like, I have strong feelings about like what bushes and like the bigger plants.
Yeah.
The flowers, I have no strong feelings at all.
That's pretty cool. How much did 3 cubic yards of dirt cost?
It's like $75. It's like between $60 and $75, like pre-tax, and then to have it delivered was $90. And I mean, you could. It was like ordering DoorDash. Like you could do it the day before. They just put you on a schedule with everybody else is getting dirt delivered that day, and then when it's on the way, you get a notification like your driver's so it's when it's out. And then a big truck pulled into the driveway, lifted the back of it to dump all that dirt, and then guy sweeps out the rest, and gave him a handsome tip because it was like being an officer again, just like standing there watching people work.
Silly.
Yeah.
Dirt business sounds like a rough gig.
Yeah.
6,000 pounds of dirt for $75.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. What are the margins?
I mean, yeah, I don't know how you make money on dirt.
Yeah. All told, it was like $200.
It's not bad.
Yep. Then we had neighbors across the street and right next to us coming over and asking about how much is it to get dirt delivered, because they're all like, oh, I can do projects. That's cool. Love our neighbors. Our neighbors are so cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was, let's see, the big project over the weekend. Hit on the olives. There you go. Yeah, the rocks. So what did we do? Did you have anything you want to talk about specific to Kelley only?
Dippin' Dots.
Dippin' Dots. What about them?
When was the last time you had Dippin' Dots?
I don't feel like it was. I feel like it's since we've been in the house. It wasn't like crazy long ago, but it was long enough that I don't remember when or where. Why?
I don't know. It's just one of those random things that came up on McAfee actually earlier this week. And I got to think about Dippin' Dots, and I was like, I think I've only had Dippin' Dots like once in my life.
Was it at NASA?
I don't think so. I think there I had like the freeze-dried ice cream bars. But not. I don't think Dippin' Dots.
If I recall correctly, that's the first time that I had them. Either one of the times my parents took us, or like on a field trip.
Yeah, I don't know. I just got thinking about it, and I was like, I want Dippin' Dots, and then I was like, where's the nearest Dippin' Dots near me? And it's like Round Rock Outlets, and I was like, well, shit, that's not too far.
That's not too far at all.
So the other day I went with my brother.
Nice.
We got Dippin' Dots.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's how exciting my life is right now. Let me see if there's anything else specific to me. I just remember I want to talk about Dippin' Dots, even though that was all the 15-second conversation.
On McAfee, something that was really disturbing, I think, in the same episode as they were talking about what their earliest memories were. Do you remember that? I think it was Connor was like talking about 5th grade. And like, dude, your memories should go before 5th grade. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you know what your first memory was? Or how far back you could go?
Somewhere in the 4 to 5 range.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's not vivid memories at all.
Yeah.
But I definitely, I don't have any memories from the first house that I ever lived in. But that was only like from 0 to 2 or 0 to maybe 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then we moved to this other house, and that was the first house I have memories of. But yeah. It's interesting though, because just thinking about memories and stuff, I was talking with my brother about that, about just having pretty good memories, like both my brother and I do. Mm-hmm. Well, his is probably a little better than mine now, after all the years of fun I've had. But I still, like, the other day I was thinking about that house I was just talking about, the first house I ever remember living in. Mm-hmm. And I was able to, like, I thought about it, and I pulled out a piece of paper and a pen, and, like, I was able to, like, draw the floor plan of the entire house, like, where everything was. Mm-hmm. Sure would like to go back and see that house someday, but that's a whole thing that you're just not supposed to do. I've looked into it. It's like, and I've seen, like, Reddit posts about it, like, I was thinking about the house I grew up in, wanted to see if I could, like, contact the people, and... Mm-hmm. Everybody's like, don't ever do that, and if anybody ever asks you to visit your house because they once lived there, don't ever let them. Like, it's just a bad idea all around.
That's funny.
Nothing good could come from it. I don't know. I remember when I was a kid, the place seemed like a castle. Like, it seemed massive. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure now it's like, it would be like tiny.
Right, yeah, that's typically how that goes.
Yeah.
I definitely understand the don't let people come to your house. Because there's been... I'm thinking of like a King of the Hill episode and a Modern Family episode.
And there's a Simpsons episode.
Just don't do it.
I think. Yeah, it's just a bad idea. So unless I like become super rich and can like just buy the house, probably never see it again. But it's one of those memories.
Nice.
Memories are cool. But yeah, I guess other than that, I was just looking at my phone. All I saw were pictures of Bun B. My bunny that lives in the backyard now.
Thank you.
He's I'm pretty sure he's getting more comfortable with me. He got fairly close to where I was standing out on the patio today. Mm-hmm. Just chilling, doing its thing, and then it just like walked a few other feet away into the shadow and just like plopped on its side just for a little rest and just kind of started like closing its eyes a little, just chilling. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're bonding. I'm trying to figure out what kind of foods to feed him. Did you know... rabbits don't actually eat carrots or don't naturally eat carrots?
How can that possibly be?
I mean, it was the whole Bugs Bunny, like, that was one of the biggest fake outs in all of history.
What about strawberries? I think strawberries have been before.
They like wild strawberry. Well, not really even. I mean, you can feed them to them and they'll eat them and they'll eat carrots, but from what I was reading, they really in the wild don't naturally really eat any root vegetables or fruits. And if, like, you have a bunny and you're feeding it, you only want to give them like a fruit or a carrot, like very sparingly as just a special treat because they're a lot higher in sugar and they don't need that much sugar. They usually just eat like grass and hay and leaves and stuff. So
that checks out.
Yeah, but I want to figure out a good old treat to like leave out there, get it more comfortable with me.
Our bunnies have entirely forsaken us. We used to love, like as soon as the sun set, and from then to when the sun rose, like there'd be 2, 3, 4 bunnies in the backyard. Mm-hmm. It was always nice whenever mowed the yard, and you could like, oh yeah, they really pop. But something about Cartman attracted them. Because now he gone and they gone.
That's sad.
Mm-hmm.
That's also weird because it's not like I have any animals running around my backyard.
Have they been consistent, or is there more bunny activity?
It's definitely increased. There's only one bunny that seems to come and visit, and I'm pretty sure it's the same one. Mm. But it's been pretty consistent. Maybe like this week, like since Monday or so. I mean, I had a few sightings like maybe 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, but they were kind of here and there. Mm. But like yesterday and today, it's pretty much every time I go outside, like I know I'm gonna see the bunny. It's gonna be there somewhere.
Cool.
So I want to find more reasons for it to stick around, not leave me.
Very cool.
Yeah. That's all I got really going on.
Saturday afternoon?
That was a pretty good afternoon. Well, I mean, it was great, but there was definitely a little bit of heartbreak there. So, Saturday afternoon, me, Nate, Ash, and Jer all went to go see the new Fast and Furious movie.
X.
Fast X. It was absolutely incredible. It's probably going to win all the Oscars next year.
Definitely.
Super good movie. I really, really enjoyed it. I really like Jason Momoa in it. I really like what he did with his role. I mean, I'm not going to get into specifics because it's still pretty new, so I don't want to spoil it for anybody out there. But
do you want to tell people, like, fast forward 10 minutes? We can talk about it for 10 minutes?
I mean, we can. All right. If you're going to... 10 minutes. All right. If you skip out spoilers, stop listening, come back in 10 minutes at 33 minutes.
Yeah. Sounds good. Jason Momoa, bad guy.
Jason Momoa, bad guy.
If you thought he was joining the gang, you were wrong.
Well, I knew the whole time he was coming in as a villain. Like, when they announced him, I heard he was going to be a bad guy. Was it you that said he had, like, strong Joker vibes? Yes. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I mean, he was very, very playful with his villainy. Very lighthearted, as one can be when he's trying to pretty much destroy the world. And also, I really enjoyed... Well, is he? He's not really trying to destroy the world. He's trying to, like, just make people suffer and will destroy... Specific people. That's what I liked about this movie, is that it's not the gang versus a villain, the gang trying to stop some big plot, the gang trying to do a heist. It's the gang is fighting for its life because somebody's not trying to make themselves rich or take over the world. They're trying to kill the gang. Yeah, I mean, not even just kill. They want them to suffer. Oh, yeah, it's a big part of it. The death is not enough for what they did. But, yeah, I don't know. Super enjoyable. Really love Aquaman. Did you notice he suffered a head injury before he went into the water? I did not. I thought that was a good touch, because it, like, is... How is this rich kid so fucking crazy? Well, head trauma. Head trauma, probably was without oxygen for a little bit underwater. He's definitely pretty crazy, but I also really liked how they just played the whole, like, he wasn't a super masculine character. Like, there's a lot of masculine characters in the Fast and Furious. Everybody's kind of like a masculine character. And I mean, you'd think Aquaman, him being so big and jacked and Samoan and whatever he is, like, you do that, but they went very, what would be a word? Androgynous? I don't know. Yeah, like playful. like
playfully androgynous.
Yeah, like, and he even brought it up. He joked about it in the movie. He was like, "There's like too much masculinity." Like,
yeah,
like he was like painting his nails or doing his hair or something. He's like, "We don't need all that. That's it's just a lot." Mm-hmm. And I really kind of appreciated that.
I liked the leading up to the drag race. Mm-hmm. I was like, all right, we're gonna fit our drag race in. We got the butts and the all that, and then it was like a horrific twist on it. Like, oh no, because it was like putting the two things together of like back to the roots, but no, this is not the roots. This is the terrible end.
Yeah,
and not terrible like bad, terrible like terrible.
Yeah, it was a really enjoyable movie. I don't ever want them to stop making them. I just want them to keep going and going and going. And I really appreciate that The Rock will be coming back. Mm-hmm. Just, I wonder how that's all going to play out with how the movie ended.
That was something that made me laugh when we finally got there, because the Jason Momoa character, what is his name in the movie?
Aquaman?
Cypher's the Charlize Theron. Oh, Dante?
That sounds right.
So he's the son of a villain that they killed in one of the great movies. I think it was the fifth one, but the one in Rio, where the thing that everybody takes away from it is them dragging a safe down the streets of Rio, killing countless people. And they could have just as easily been like, instead of him being the son of the rich dude, being like somebody from the favelas. Yeah. It's like their mom came down from the hills and just was an innocent bystander. But they went with this other direction. That's fine.
I mean, they had to have a reason for him to have all the money for what he was doing.
Fair enough.
Couldn't be a broke.
They could have said like the nation of Brazil banded together to fight the fast gang over that nonsense, but that epic nonsense. Where was I even going with this? What were we talking about? Something I liked about him.
What his name was? I don't know.
Oh, The Rock. So, the whole reason that Dante's going after Dom and the gang is because his father died his bad guy father died at the end of the movie over the course of events. And throughout the whole movie, I was like, I didn't think Dom killed him. I didn't think it was like an intentional thing. I couldn't remember like why I felt that way. And then like they had the cutscene at the end after the credits. Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, they showed The Rock just real casually double tapping the dad when he was like wounded. Not dead, just like wounded on the road from having been thrown from his vehicle or whatever. And The Rock just like strolls by him, pop. And I was like, oh yeah, be mad at The Rock. Or be mad at Hobbs. Yeah, that was great. But yeah, I guess we were talking about this a little bit in the chat today, that I think it's still debated if there's 2 movies or 3 movies after this, but it makes sense now that they did the Hobbs and Shaw kind of, I don't want to say spin-off, but like that injection into the series. It's kind of like the Tokyo Drift thing, where it's like, hey, this is important because it's going to come up later. Because, and this is the big spoiler, if you haven't skipped this part yet, you should skip now. The whole gang dies. Like, the Dom and his son, like, literally Dom was like, you made one mistake, you didn't take away my car. They took away his car, and now there's like, Dom's dead. Dom and his son are dead.
Supposedly.
They're very super.
We never saw them die.
We know that they're underneath a lake with all these explosives because Dante just covered all his bases, and we know from Dom himself. I mean, that's you got the that's gonna kill you, and the only thing that could have saved you is your car. You don't have your car. It's over for Dom, which is sad and tragic. And then Han and 3 others, Tej.
Tez.
Is it Tez?
I think it's Tez.
Okay.
Maybe it's Tej.
Yeah. But the other 4 are all on a plane that crashes, and you see the flames
You see the plane fly around a mountain, and then 2 seconds later, you see an explosion come from that side of the mountain.
So not enough time to get out of the plane, and if you look closely when you see the fireball, you can see bits and pieces of them. It's horrifying, but it's been decades in the making. That's
not what happened.
It's been decades in the making, so it's they have to really go over the top with everybody's deaths. But now it makes sense that they did Hobbs and Shaw like they did, because Shaw had left to go take care of business. So now, they'll have like a Hobbs and Shaw chapter, and then I imagine like the third movie is just like all the bits and pieces and battered remains of, like, maybe Hobbs and Shaw don't both make it out of that movie. That seems very, very possible at this point. Third movie might just be like Charlize Theron versus Jason Momoa.
That'd be hot.
Yeah.
Nah.
So, I mean, tragic, very sad. But makes sense in the big...
There's no way they're all dead. The way that Fast and Furious loves to bring back dead characters, like, might as well be South Park and Kenny. Like, all the characters could die every movie, and then the next movie would just start up like, oh.
Yeah, no. No, there was always a way that you could, like... We didn't see Letty die. We didn't see Han die, I guess.
We didn't see anyone else die.
No, we saw the
flames. We saw them very close to
We saw the statement of, you only make one mistake, my car. And then the successful taking away of the car. It's poetic, it really is. And tragically poetic.
You're so silly.
I heard a really dumb rumor about the next movie or movies. Apparently the studio, I don't even know which studio it is.
Yeah. But
they like put their foot down and said that for now on, and I think it includes this movie, if you look closely, that none of the cars will have fins on the back of them. Did you hear about this? Did you hear about this, Kelley?
No. 45 seconds until the spoiler time is done.
You're not allowed to have fins on the back of the cars. You know why?
Why?
The studio said no spoilers.
I knew you were building up to something for a long time.
Yeah. So that's
Fast and the Furious. Oh, they didn't fucking have my Vin Diesel popcorn vessel.
Oh, that's awful. That's terrible. That's not any kind of spoiler. We can just keep talking about that.
Yeah, but the fact that it was on the website and I was able to pre-order it a day before.
You shouldn't be able to purchase it if they don't have it.
You shouldn't. They should take that shit off the website. That shouldn't be a hard IT move to do.
What happened with that, anyways?
After the movie, I went to the counter and I was like, hey, they told me to come see y'all because you didn't have my thing. And they're like, oh, yeah. Like, it wasn't just a normal thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to go just check with the manager real quick. It took like 2 minutes, and then they told me to put my card in this thing, and the little receipt printed out. It was like refund of the amount, and I was like, all right. I don't know if it's actually come back to my bank account yet. It didn't like that day or the day after, but I'll check it eventually. I saved the receipt, but I'm still real bummed. I was really looking forward to that thing.
It did look pretty small, though.
It looked like a good, 18 inches long.
Way too big. It was way smaller than that.
No way. Did you not see that video? It was at least 16 inches long.
Listener, Kelley has his hands easily 3 feet apart.
That's bullshit. I'll fact check you right now. I probably had it at 19 inches.
19, 24, whatever.
I was nowhere near 24 inches.
Alright. Movies, though. We talked a little bit after we saw it about, is it worth going to the movie to see it? Because this big screen, you could feel the audio in your butt, which is nice. I got wings. Popcorn and sodas were had. Ash had an icy. But other than that, Jared made a strong point that, I watch it. You guys have an 80-something inch screen downstairs.
Yeah. With
a pretty good sound system. And we have so much more liberty to drink what we want, eat what we want, fart when we want. So, what do you think? You think we're going to keep watching these in the movie theaters or what?
No, I was actually really surprised we watched this one. I think there was just a big, like, circle of somewhat miscommunication on the whole thing. Because, I mean, when Top Gun 2 came out, like, I was going to go to that movie. Regardless if anyone else went with me or not, I was going to the movies to see that movie. Because that was the biggest deal of a movie release for me in my entire life. Even as much as I love Fast and Furious, like,
wow,
it's different. So I honestly, going into this movie, I wasn't planning on going to see it in the theaters. But then you told me that Ash was thinking about making that next weekend of Fast and Furious, like, going to the movies. So in my mind, I was like, oh shit, Ash is, like, really into this and wants to go see this movie. I want to support that. Plus, I won't hate it. Like, I mean, there's not very many movies I would actually go see, but this is one of those. Mm-hmm. And then saw the popcorn vessel come up. And then I was like, okay, I have to get that. I have to go and see this now.
Okay.
But then even when we were getting close to it, I was chatting with Ashley, and it was just kind of like, came up that, like, we each kind of thought we were going for the other person.
Okay.
And then at that point, it had already been a plan for, like, almost a whole week. And I was like, well, I don't want to cancel now because I think Jeremy is looking forward to this because it's like a group outing and he's been talking about wanting to go out and do stuff more often and rather than just stay home. Mm. So I was like, I don't want to cancel it now and then him be all bummed that we're not going to go see it. And then turns out he's the one that voices after the fact that he would have preferred to not see it in the theaters at all. Like, no one really wanted to go see it in the theater, but we did it anyway. I mean, you want to do everything.
That's true. Listener, I raised my hand.
He did. So yeah, we just gotta be a little bit better with the communication next time. So, like, I thought I was doing it for Ash, I just thought I was doing it for me, and I thought I was doing it for Jer, and then I mean, for what it was, I mean, despite the fact that they didn't have my fucking Vin Diesel Dodge Charger popcorn vessel, which, if anybody's listening, just Google those words and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Google.
And but I thought the seats were really nice, like big, comfy seats, like electric reclining. It did have heated seats, which I think I turned on accidentally at one point. Mm-hmm. My butt got real hot, and I didn't like that.
Yeah.
But there's only like a total of 10 people in the theater.
Yeah, we were like 8 people away from just doing whatever we wanted.
Yeah. So it really, for what it was, and that theater was a lot nicer than I thought it would be too. Mm-hmm. I'm not mad that we went, but I'm not going to be pushing for us to go anytime soon to any other movies.
To me, it seems silly for us to do all those rewatches and then not see them in the theater. But I get Jeremy's point. And yeah, it made me think of like football and sports, and it is a blast to go there in person. Maybe it would have been like more fun if it was a full theater and everybody was like emotional and all that. But you can't get the close-ups. You know, you can't, like when you're watching NFL or NBA on TV, you're like in their face.
Yeah.
Which is a marvel of technology and all that. And, you know, part of that's the production, and then part of that's like whatever you got going on at home. And each of us has like pretty cool setups at home.
Yeah.
And that is the nature of entertainment in 2023.
Yeah. And another reason why I'd be more of a fan of doing more of those movies at home rather than at the theater was because about halfway through I realized that I needed to pee. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I wasn't exactly sure where the restroom was, how far away it was, how much I was going to miss, because I kept waiting for like a scene that felt like it was going to go on for a couple of minutes and I wouldn't miss much. Mm-hmm. But it just wasn't happening. It was a very go-go kind of movie.
They put a lot in that, yeah. It was still like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah. So like towards the end, I was just like, the last quarter of the movie, half of like my attention was just focused on like, do I need to go pee? Can I hold it? Mm-hmm. And so I was just holding it. I just held it. And then like, right at the very end, like we all knew there was going to be like a post-credit scene. So I was waiting for that. And even beforehand, Jeremy talked about there possibly being like a second, like even later post-second.
No.
Post whatever. But after the first one, I was just like, I cannot stay here anymore. I have to go pee. Mm-hmm. So then I went, and it's one of my longest urinations of my life.
That's got to be one of your longest, like just sitting in one place for 2 hours and 20 minutes. And change, because we watch trailers too.
Yeah, I mean, the only other time that happens is like, I guess if I'm on a flight.
Right.
Somewhere. Because otherwise, I'm going to get up every so often, get a drink of water, just stretch my legs. Mm-hmm. But, yeah. Fast and Furious is the best.
It's really great. Quiz?
We can do one real quick. I got one ready for us.
Here we go.
Let me send it to you. Yeah. Come on, there it is.
Let me drink my drink.
So this quiz, today on Kelley's Quiz Corner, we're going to do the quiz in another dimension. This is the iconic 90s female movie character you secretly are.
Neat.
Because I'm a big fan of 90s. There's a lot of awesome 90s female movie characters, and I'm curious as to see which one you are. Mm-hmm. You got it pulled up?
I got it pulled up. I'm looking at it now.
All right, question one. Which is your best quality? Great listener, book smart, performer, adventurous, athletic, handy, creative, social butterfly, outspoken, nature lover. Those are kind of all over the place.
They are. I am not a social butterfly. I am actually far more introverted than people think, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I am adventurous. I enjoy being uncomfortable.
Have you ever seen the YouTube channel Yes Theory?
Yes Theory?
Yes.
No, but is it like the movie?
No, I don't know what the movie is.
There's a movie called Yes Man?
No, it's not that.
Okay. What's Yes Theory?
Yes Theory. Basically, their slogan is seek discomfort. Mm-hmm. And all their videos are about getting them or other people to like step out of their comfort zones, to do things, to have adventures, and just to broaden their horizons, and just understand that the best stuff in life comes from when you step out of your comfort zone and you seek discomfort.
Yeah.
I watch that stuff all the time. It's super inspirational and like right up what you just said. Like,
heck yeah.
I think you like it.
That sounds like me.
I'm going to go with great listener.
Cool.
Because I think I am, and I listen to all the stuff everybody has to say. And apparently I'm good at it.
Very cool.
Question 2. Which activity would you have done as a kid/teen? Wilderness Scout, peer counseling, debate club, and environmental club, prom committee, dance classes, model UN, art classes, 4-H, and team sports.
All right, first thing I noticed is it got weird because instead of like, which is your best quality, like, it's asking, what would you have? Instead of like, hey, what did you do? So is it like you get to pick if you didn't get to do what you wanted to do?
I mean, I was going to go with the only thing on here that I actually did was team sports.
I'm going to do model UN because I did youth and government, and those are kind of close.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
And I enjoyed it. Thoroughly.
All right. Number 3, pick a college degree: fashion design, fitness and kinetics, neurology, trade school instead, early childhood education, anthropology, digital art, social justice, zoology, or film studies.
Public policy is the correct answer. I'm going to go with anthropology.
I think these are all pretty dumb.
They shade towards dumb.
You know what? I'll do trade school instead.
Interesting.
I always thought about being like a carpenter.
I was thought about like being an electrician. Or even a plumber. I have a great uncle that's a plumber, lives around here, and is just always like helping people and likes what he does, and he's done it for a long time.
There's just too many smells in being a plumber for me.
Yeah. Pretty sure you used to it.
All right. Pick your dream career.
Oh.
Famous YouTuber.
Hey.
Fashion editor for Top Magazine. Trainer to professional athletes.
That's Ashley.
Conservation vet. Civil rights attorney and lobbyist.
Ooh.
College professor.
Ooh.
Run a private daycare. That's super specific. Hollywood animator. Photojournalist for National Geographic. Build custom tiny houses.
Oh, man. All right, 3 of those really stand out to me. Civil rights attorney and lobbyist. College professor and photojournalist for National Geographic. Man, that one's really cool. Here's something that I always think about with these things now. I might have brought it up last time, is I'm more conscious now than I've ever been about leaving home and how that's not so cool to do. So I think I'm going to go with college professor.
I'm going to go famous YouTuber.
Word.
Just because I feel like those guys, like, they're not really famous, so, like, not a lot of people are going to recognize them, but they make a lot of money. A lot of money. And that's really all I care about. And my next one was going to be build custom tiny houses, but
That's appealing.
you could never catch me living in a tiny house.
Mm-hmm. They also tribe up a lot, it seems. That's nice.
Yeah. All right, pick a hobby. Writing, knitting, yoga, wood carving, beekeeping, camping, video games, crafting, reading, or paddleboarding.
A lot of these don't seem like hobbies, but you got yours?
Yeah. I'll go with wood carving. I've been wanting to get into that for a long time.
Yeah. Gotta go with video games.
I mean, that should be my answer, but I'm pretending I'm living a different life right now.
Mm-hmm.
Pick a weekend course to take.
Mm.
Boxing, diving, cake decorating, writing, pottery, circus arts, car maintenance, makeup design, foraging/survival, or public speaking. So I'm just going to say car maintenance because I want us to start a fucking car gang. And I think we need to know how to do that, so...
I definitely would have done that before. I'm kind of torn between diving because that is pretty close to like being an astronaut to me. But I'm going with diving. Maybe writing. Diving.
Weekend plans, question mark? Political rally, shopping, painting pottery, rafting trip, family game night, road tripping, exploring a museum, going out dancing, snowboarding and skiing, and restoring old furniture.
That stands out to somebody. How do I restore that furniture? See, for me, like, road tripping might seem like the obvious answer, but a road trip so that I can get to the rafting trip.
Hmm. I mean, I guess if I'm going to pick the most realistic one on here, I'll probably go family game night, and I'm counting you guys as my family.
Family.
Because we do that on the weekends sometimes.
Cool.
Which one? Did you choose rafting? Or
I did choose rafting.
Time to take a trip. What's the plan? Working farm stay in Iceland, volunteering in Ghana, Disney World with friends, surfing in Australia, reggae festival in Jamaica, weaving and pottery in Peru, stay in a treehouse in Costa Rica, cultural tour of China, photo safari in Botswana, cooking classes in Italy.
Damn, these are all great.
Yeah, there's some good ones in here. There's some not so good ones. Like culture tour of China. I'm not going to China.
That's BS. That would be like a year. China is not a small place. It's got a little bit of history.
Staying in a house in tree house in Costa Rica sounds kind of cool, but I highly doubt there's air conditioning in it, which it's a deal breaker for me.
I just go tropical. I just sweat as much as I want.
Definitely done the Disney World with friends though. That was pretty awesome.
That was. For me, it's got to be weaving and pottery in Peru.
You know what? I'm going photo safari in Botswana.
Any particular reason?
I like elephants.
The thumbnail is elephants.
I like big animals.
I do too. That was a pretty close one for me. I even like volunteering in Ghana. I had I had an English professor when we were first getting together. Professor Martina Kusimensa talked about Ghana and how great it was all the time.
Nice.
I'm gonna go to Peru someday. I'm gonna Machu Picchu.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty cool place. Alright, next question. Pick a Valentine's date night. Late night at the zoo, escape room, paint and sip night, volunteer instead, cook together and watch Netflix, camping under the stars,
Mosquitoes,
karaoke night, indoor rock climbing, spa day and 5-star dinner, axe throwing, and Korean barbecue.
I love being surprised by them when you say them. So definitely not escape room.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Cooking together is me cooking. Karaoke night is me doing karaoke. It's axe throwing and Korean barbecue. That's something for me and Ash.
So if we're talking about actual like going out on Valentine's, like the actual day, then for me it's a no-brainer. Cook together and watch Netflix. Like, you don't go out on actual Valentine's Day. That's for suckers.
Who's doing indoor rock climbing on Valentine's?
Well, I honestly thought you were gonna pick that.
Hey, I'm looking at the pictures in the next one.
Which modern movie lady do you relate to? Letty Ortiz from Fast and Furious, Laura Croft from Tomb Raider, Lady Jessica from Dune, Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City, Princess Shuri from Black Panther, Natasha Romanoff from Black Widow, Donna Sheridan from Mamma Mia 2, Primrose Everdeen from The Hunger Games, Rey Skywalker from Star Wars, or Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter.
Dang. I'm going Rey.
I mean, I don't know if I really relate that much, but you know what? I'm picking Letty Ortiz from Fast and Furious just because it's the right thing to do.
I like Rey's angstiness and uncertainty.
Oh, and we get our answers.
The great potential. Hey! I got a winner.
I don't know how I feel about mine.
I know how I feel about mine.
Who'd you get?
I got Evelyn Carnahan from The Mummy, circa 1999. You want to travel and see the world. You have read a lot, but you want to see things for yourself. You are not afraid to leap into the unknown to discover new things. Rachel Weisz.
Okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, I am Dorothy Boyd from Jerry Maguire, who's like the love interest in Jerry Maguire. You have a big heart, you listen to people and always offer a shoulder to cry on. You welcome friends into your home and they turn to you for advice and support.
I got that 1999 Rachel Weisz. You got that 1997? Six. Renee. Wait. Yeah, is it Renee?
Is that? I don't know her real name. Her name is Dorothy Boyd.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Renee Zellweger. And, yeah. Jerry Maguire, pretty important movie to me growing up.
Me too. I watched it a shit ton of times. I really liked how it was about football. And that was another edition of Kelley's Quiz Corner. Dang, we're already at 54 minutes.
Yeah, we had a lot to talk about, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we just had an episode drop on Tuesday.
God damn it.
Okay, just one more thing. Kind of for my mom.
Do it.
Am I tipping? Am I?
Yeah. Oh, now I should expect it.
So, Andrew Lloyd Webber wanted to do a musical version of Fast and the Furious. It was going to be called Jesus Christ Supercar. I love you, Mom.
Alrighty, everybody. Thanks for listening. Have a great week. We will catch you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Tell your friends. We love y'all, and peace.
Peace.